exclusive insight into the world of Badger athletics, this is Wisconsin Huddle. Here's Andrew Banstra.
Welcome into the Wisconsin Huddle. I'm Andrew Banstra right here in the WISC TV studios. Thrilled to be joined by the captain of the Wisconsin men's hockey team, Ben Dexheimer. Ben, thanks so much for taking the time, man.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And of course, we're always going to get to know who Ben is as a player and not just as a skater. And for that, we're going to play a game we like to call the first line, or the first couple of things that come to mind when you think of Ben. And we'll start here. We already mentioned it. Being named the captain in your senior year, What does that mean to you?
It was an honor. Obviously, it's such a historic program, and being able to wear that letter on that jersey is something so special, and I never take it for granted.
It's such an amazing feat, and, you know, this team this year has really found a way to kind of turn things. In these last couple of years, really in your tenure, you've seen a shift in Wisconsin men's hockey back to kind of what people think of it as. What does that mean to you to be a part of that maybe transition, and how has it happened?
It's been amazing because the whole town and all the fans, like, they've been so supportive, and for us to go out there and do what we're supposed to do on a weekend basis and give back to them has been so awesome the last few years. And I think if you look at it, Mike Hastings has been a really big part of that, and what he instills on our guys and on a daily basis is really what has made this it's really what made Badger hockey what it's become the last few years.
So you're from Minnesota, and you weren't originally going to come to Wisconsin. No. Kind of walk me through how that happened, that you ended up as a Badger.
Yeah, so I was committed to Miami of Ohio when I was a sophomore in high school, and graduated high school in Minnesota, and then went and played junior hockey here for the Capitals, and just fell in love with the place. My billet family was awesome. The guy I lived with, who I live with now, Kyle Kukkonen, was awesome. And like I said, fell in love with the city and reopened myself back up to recruitment, and eventually chose here, and it was a pretty easy decision.
Was there any conflict in that decision, being that you're from Minnesota? I mean, you know, the whole border battle, or did that kind of make things more fun?
No, it kind of made it more fun, and I knew some guys on the team the year before I came in that I grew up with from Minnesota, and so they were like, you don't have to worry about that, and they obviously pressured me a little bit to go there, and I made that decision, and I'm absolutely stoked that I did.
Absolutely. And the other thing we want to talk about is the Hobey Baker fan vote. If you don't know what that is, it's basically the Heisman or the MVP when it comes to men's college hockey. There's 3 Badgers that made the fan vote finalists, one of them being the guy sitting right next to me. What does that mean to you to be in that Hobey Baker conversation? I mean, anytime those words are said, you got to get chills, I'd imagine.
Yeah, again, super honored. Really cool to see. My family's been obviously texting that thing a lot, but I think it just goes to show, like, the guys around me every day, making us better. Me, Quinn Finley, and Gavin Morrissey, we wouldn't be there without them, and I think that also Coach Hastings, the work that we do every day, and this is a reflection on that.
Absolutely, and we're just getting started getting to know who Ben is, and we've got some hockey slang to talk about. If you're talking hockey, you gotta go with the slang. We'll get all into that and much more when we come back to the Wisconsin Huddle. Welcome back into the Wisconsin Huddle. I'm Andrew Banstra here in the WISC TV studios. Thrilled to be joined by the captain of the Wisconsin men's hockey team, Ben Dexheimer. And Ben, if we're talking hockey, you gotta talk hockey slang. I mean, all sports have their little sayings, but when it comes to hockey, you can't really think of a better sport than the slang that hockey has.
No, it definitely has its own vocabulary, and it's very unique.
And for that, obviously, we have to have a draft. So each of us are going to pick 4 hockey slang terms that are our favorite. I kind of know some of them, but I don't know what they all mean. So we're going to have Ben be our translator as well. Of course, you're going to get the first pick. So with your 1-1, what would you take in terms of a hockey slang?
I think my #1 pick, I'm going to have to go with barn burner.
Barn burner, okay.
Yep.
Why barn burner, and what does it mean?
I think that's just one that I always grew up hearing. My dad, my coaches would use that one, and for me it just means like a game that's high scoring, back and forth, 1-goal game, like those 9 to 8 games, 6 to 5 games where it's just constant offense.
So with my 1-1 or the 1-2, I guess, I'll go with gong show because it's just a funny sounding phrase. It's kind of similar to a barn burner, right?
Yep. Yeah, gong show, I think that just, it's just a crazy game. There might be some fights, a lot of penalties, definitely a lot of scoring, and I think that sums up hockey in a great way.
It really does. There's so many words that just kind of encapsulate what this game is. With your second round pick, what would you go with? You got barn burner.
I think my second pick, I'll go with lettuce. I think that's one that's always used a lot.
That is a great one. Explain to me what that means.
Lettuce is your hair. It's what hair you got going on. I'm from Minnesota, so they always do the all hockey hair team YouTube video, which goes pretty viral. So I think lettuce, I'll go with number 2.
So any hair is just lettuce?
Yep,
okay.
I think so.
Makes sense. I'm going to go with beauty as my next one. And when I kind of heard of it, I would have just thought, I don't know, it's a good shot, but that's not exactly what it means, right?
No, I think it can be used in multiple ways, but the way that I think of it, if like you call a guy a beauty, he's just a good guy, like nice dude to hang around, always smiling, but then you can also have a beauty goal, which is a nice goal or a nice assist or whatever it is.
So we're halfway through our draft. You've got 2 of your first selections. Yep. What do you go with in the 3rd round?
I think apple. I'll go with apple as my 3rd one. And I know some people might not know that one because it's not really specific, but apple is an assist on a goal. Like a secondary or a primary apple is the 1st or 2nd assist on a goal.
I'll kind of go the opposite direction. You receive an apple and you hit a clap bomb, which I've always thought is another hilarious term. Clap bomb off the face-off. What does that mean?
That's another word for a slap shot.
Okay.
So if you wind up and you just hit the puck as hard as you can, and I think a clap bomb is obviously another great one.
Who has the best slap shot on your guys' team? Usually, sometimes it's the wings, but every once in a while it's defensemen like yourself, right?
Yeah, I think Zach Scholes, he's got one that, he's got some heat behind it, and Quinn Finley, he can shoot it pretty well too.
Yeah, watching that guy play is... Yeah,
he's amazing.
Yeah, unbelievable. So we're 3 rounds deep. You've got 1 selection left.
Yep.
What do you go with in the 4th round?
I think with my 4th pick, I'm going to go with yard sale.
That is amazing. Explain to me what that means.
Yard sale is a big hit where maybe 3-4 guys are going down, sticks are flying, helmet might be unbuckled, just chaos, honestly.
There is nothing better than that. There's a lot of different ones you could go with, but I'm going to go with light the lamp.
Okay.
I've always thought that was a good one. It just signifies, you know, if you're watching a game, you maybe miss something, you see the lamp light up. What does that mean? Again, maybe self-explanatory.
Yeah, you score a goal and that red light above the net or on the behind the glass that starts going off, you know it went in, and that's what it means. You score and that lamp gets lit.
We just kind of barely dipped our toes into how good the Badgers have been lately. We'll get much more into that when we come back after a beauty of a draft from Ben, next on the Wisconsin Huddle. Welcome back into the Wisconsin Huddle. Thrilled to be joined by Ben Dexheimer, a captain or the captain on the Wisconsin men's hockey team. And these Badgers this year, you guys got off to a fantastic start. You lost only 3 of your first 20 games. You swept the #1 team in the country. You even had quite the special goal in one of those games. Yep. We'll get to that in a second. But let's talk first about the hard thing, or maybe the elephant in the room, is that 6-game losing skid. You know, 4 of them against top 10 teams in the country. How does that maybe help you guys as you battle through that adversity?
Yeah, I think every good team obviously goes through peaks and valleys throughout the season, and that was definitely one of our valleys. But we got through it this weekend and got off the losing skid, which was good. But I think it just shows that like good teams can get out of these things, and we are a good team, and that's what we're doing right now. We're trending upwards.
So we talk about that Michigan State game, and especially right then, it was really a feeling in Madison and all around the state that was like, oh, wow, this team is, you know, you're looking at your calendar, when is the Frozen Four? I think it's in Las Vegas this year.
It is, yep.
That's kind of was the feel around here. Do you think that that kind of same vibe is still around in the locker room? That same maybe feeling like this is one of the best teams in the country no matter what?
It is. We have all the belief in our locker room. We have guys that every day come in, smile on their face, ready to work, and I don't think that's changed once this year.
So let's talk about that Michigan State game. You had the game winner, if I have that right. What's that moment like? And Ben's a defenseman, not always known for scoring. He's a guy that does get a lot of points, but what's that moment like for you?
It was pretty special, especially against the #1 team. Fitzy made an unbelievable pass, like 3-foot sauce pass right to me, and I think I honestly just closed my eyes and hoped it hit my stick, and it did and went in, and it was really special for our group to do that on the road, and obviously against the best team in the country at the time. Really cool to get those points.
So what maybe changed this past weekend against the Fighting Irish? Could you feel anything different? Was it getting back to your fundamentals, or what maybe was different?
I think guys just kind of let go a little bit. We were gripping our sticks a little too tight for a while there, and I think that once everyone realized that, hey, like, take a deep breath, we're still who we were a month ago, nothing's changed, and got that in our head, we played with some confidence and ended up scoring.
Was that the message from Coach Hastings? He's a guy that, and I talked with Quinn when he was on a few weeks ago, you know, all we generally hear in press conferences is getting back to your dailies and your book of business. Are those the same kind of things he was preaching? Did anything change from him?
Not a whole lot changed. We have the same message throughout the year, like you said, got to hammer those dailies. But I think the other thing, like I was saying, that he preached was just take a deep breath. Like, everything's going to be all right. Go out there, play hockey, the game that we've been playing for so long, and just have some fun with it, and that's what we did this weekend.
So we're turning the corner down the final stretch of the regular season. Of course, you still got the Big Ten tournament and everything that comes after that. But what does this next stretch look like for you guys?
Yeah, we go to Ohio State on the road, which is a tough place to play in, and obviously huge games. And then we have Michigan right after that, and we have 6 games left. So I think that you can't let any weekend slide, and everyone needs to be ready to go for all 6 of those games.
And only one series left at the Kohl Center, at least in the regular season. Get out and see these Badgers if you haven't already. You just mentioned the Buckeyes. We're going to talk about them when we come back in kind of a fun way next on the Wisconsin Huddle. Welcome back inside the Wisconsin Huddle. I'm Andrew Banstra, right here in the WISC TV studios, joined by the captain of the Badger men's hockey team, Ben Dexheimer, and this is a great segment of Badger banter. You guys play at Ohio State this weekend, and, you know, this is not a trick question. I asked the same thing to your teammates, and it comes off like it's a trick question, but I promise it's not. What is a Buckeye? And I don't know the answer.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think I know the answer 100% either. But, I mean, looking at their mascot, I can't even really tell you what that is. But I think I'd have to go with like a weed or a plant of some sort.
Maybe some sort of flower?
Yeah.
You know, I heard some people have said, you know, some sort of chocolate. I don't know if that makes sense. I had somebody mention to me that it could, you know, all they know is they have stickers on their helmets in football. You know, it's a really confusing question that I don't know the answer to, but your teammates just might. Let's see what they had to say.
Some kind of nut, I think.
That's what he said. No, he said it was a flower or a weed.
I thought it was some kind of nut. I have no idea, but I thought that's what it was.
What is a Buckeye?
I'm not sure, but isn't it like a nut or something? Isn't it like some sort of nut? I think that's what it is.
What is a Buckeye?
I have no idea what a Buckeye is, honestly. I've seen their logo a couple times, and they got like that secondary logo, but I'm not sure what it is really.
So I don't know either. Ben thinks maybe it's some sort of weed or a flower. The other guy said maybe a nut.
I don't know. I don't agree with them, but I don't know what it would be. But I don't think it's what they think it is.
So it looks like we still don't exactly know what a Buckeye is. I'm not Googling it. I'm just going with what Ben said and what his teammates just told you on Badger Banter. We've still got more fun on the way on the Wisconsin Huddle. We'll be right back. Welcome Welcome back into the Wisconsin Huddle, right here in the WISC TV studios. I'm Andrew Banstra, joined by the captain of the Wisconsin men's hockey team, Ben Dexheimer. Now, Ben, I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. I'm sitting next to a world-class hockey player and skater, and for some reason, I was just telling you, I played some pond hockey growing up. I hadn't put on the skates in a long time, and as you know, it's been pretty cold out.
Oh, yeah, really cold.
I decided to lace them up. And I'm going to have you take a look at what we got. Now, you're going to see a stumble, but I want your analysis here.
Okay.
Little spin.
Yep, caught yourself. The hands look good. Little shot. I don't know about the black laces, though. Might have to swap those ones for some white.
Is that an issue?
I think it is.
Okay, fair enough. Now, I've got one more video here. So this one, I'm just getting some shots up. And I was feeling good about myself, getting some lift on the puck. What do you think here?
There's some pace on that shot here. The net's moving, little flex in the stick. And like you said, you're putting it in the top third of the net, which that's where the goal scorers go.
Going for where the grandma puts the good stuff, right?
Yep.
All right, fair enough. Well, I had to show you that earlier this season. You may remember I showed Wisconsin football's kicker, Nathaniel Vakos, my first kick at the Forward Madison soccer game. I think my hockey skills are a little bit better than my soccer skills, which isn't saying a lot.
Hey, those were pretty good, seriously. For not having the skates on for a while, I'm impressed.
Well, I appreciate that. Now, to get you maybe down to my level, the only way that could happen is in these scenarios,
okay.
And we'll run through them in a game of Badger Would You Rather. So I have a couple of questions. Would you rather play a game in Heelys, not skates, or with a pool noodle for a hockey stick?
Oof. I think I need my skates. I think I'm going with the pool noodle. I can just defend and go out there and block shots.
As a defender, could you almost theoretically play a game without a stick?
I think you could. It'd be really tough, but I think you could. Just get your body in the way.
And on that note, when you're, and I know this from my pond hockey days when the pucks were coming in much, much slower than the ones you're taking, how much does it hurt when you block a puck?
There's certain areas that definitely don't feel good, and you're feeling that for a few days after. But we have a lot of padding on. You take it in the shin guard, and they teach you to just kind of stay forward. That's where all the gear is protecting you. So
like a catcher in baseball.
Exactly.
Almost. Yeah,
yep.
Fair enough. All right. My next one would be, would you rather have your teammate control the music that you listen to before games, or have your teammate put your stick tape on for every game? I'm talking on the blade itself and on the handle.
I am very particular when it comes to my stick, and I'm not too particular on the music, so I think my teammates have good music taste too, so I'll let them do that, and I'll take care of my stick.
What is your maybe process for that? Do you do the candy or the candy cane stripes, or how do you do it?
I'm nothing flashy, but I've been doing the same knob, which is the twisting the tape and 6 rows down with some grip tape over that, and then just start at the heel and go up to the toe with some thick black tape.
And always with white laces on the skates?
White laces,
okay.
Always. Yep.
So that's clearly a hockey thing that just went right past my head.
Yep.
Okay, fair enough. Now, my last question would be, we gotta, you're a Minnesota native, we gotta tie it into Wisconsin. You're a true Wisconsinite now. So, would you rather play with a cheese head for a helmet or with a brat attached to your stick?
Oof. I'd rather go a brat attached to my stick. I feel like having a cheese head as a helmet, I'm bound for an injury out there with that.
I think so. I would imagine it's pretty protective. Have you ever taken one of the teeth or anything like that?
My 2 front teeth are both fake.
Okay.
I got them both knocked out in junior hockey when we just wear a half shield, and I've been in the dentist chair quite a bit over the last 5 years. So.
I feel like you kind of have to have the dentist on speed dial as a hockey player.
Oh, for sure. I've been in the operating chair quite a bit. So.
But teeth or no teeth, these Badgers are going to continue on a roll. We'll be watching them all the way, led, of course, by Ben. Ben, thank you so much for taking the time to join us, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. We will see you next week on the Wisconsin Huddle.
I'm a first man.